Mid-Missourians are now being targeted by the Internal Revenue Service, but it's not the real IRS. One bellwoman is sharing her story with us of how a scammer almost took everything from her through intimidation and lies, and you could be next. Even though many of us think it could never happen to us. In a special report tonight, ABC 17's Dana Clemens is looking at the ruse that's already hit an estimated 90,000 people. Dana, you took her story straight to the IRS to find out how other people can avoid falling victim.
Anyone might be scared if someone called and said they were from the government and you were a suspect in a federal case. But before you go giving out any information, stop and think. Because all it takes is telling a scammer something as little as your birthday, and your bank account could be drained in minutes.
My name is Danny Rogers with the Department of Legal Affairs with the U.S. Treasury. Don't disregard this message. Return the call. Now, if you don't return the call and I don't hear you from your attorney either, the only thing I can do is wish you good luck as this situation unfolds on you. Till then, goodbye and have a blessed day.
A voicemail from the U.S. Treasury, something you wouldn't ignore.
Of course, that would make anybody jump, and so I dialed him back immediately.
Carrie Redford wanted to get to the bottom of it.
He said he was calling from the U.S. Department of Treasury. And I said, okay. And he said, this is about some tax fraud. You are a suspect in a major case.
Okay, scary.
I said, all right, sir, well, I got a few questions. He says, you do not ask me questions. I ask you questions.
And it only got worse when the man from the Treasury got irate.
He screamed at me, you do not laugh at me, woman.
Then she got suspicious.
And I said, I suppose next you're going to ask me for my debit card number. And he said, I didn't ask you for that. I asked you, what's your Social Security number?
The red flag.
Our government is not going to send somebody like that calling on you. They're not going to come from a strange number out of Los Angeles.
Redford didn't fall for it, but not everyone is so wise. Marys County Sheriff Chris Heitman tells me he's had several reports lately of people getting similar calls.
We've had reports where the FBI have called people.
And Redford says several of her neighbors in Bell have also been called and threatened.
Threatened to freeze my bank account. He threatened that federal agents going to come and take me out. All these different things.
I'd say the intimidation factor is fairly new on these, where they're actually going out and threatening people.
That intimidation is exactly why people are falling for it, and it's working. The IRS told me just today that the scam has cost victims a total of more than $5 million. So I took the scam straight to the IRS to ask how we would know it was fake.
The IRS does not ask for personal information over the phone, like your Social Security number. The IRS will first contact you by mail if you owe taxes. We won't contact you by phone. The IRS never insists that you use a specific payment method to pay your tax. The IRS never requests immediate payment over the telephone.
What's even scarier than the fake IRS calling you? The fact that 1 in 10 people falls victim to a scam each year.
Within minutes, your credit report can be shot. Within minutes, your bank account could be empty.
And those minutes could mean years getting your finances straight.
It could really ruin your life for the rest of your life.
So how can you protect yourself? Officials say question everything. Don't believe anyone calling.
If you think that something seems wrong, then you are probably right. And we want to make sure that you don't give up any personal information over the phone.
I called the scammer today and found out that his phone has since been disconnected. I also discovered more than a third of scams were over the phone last year, and another quarter were from visits to a website.
Thank you. Seniors, by the way, are often the biggest targets. And get this, experts say people who've been victims once will likely be targeted again.